Hey onesies, Josh Williams here, and thanks for checking out the One Man Podcast. There's now over 200 episodes and dozens of bonus interviews, all of which are available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, and many more. And you know what? If you don't have any of those apps, no big deal, because you can listen anytime at onemanpodcast.com. So be sure to subscribe because it's always free and there's a new episode out every Wednesday. And while you're at it, leave a review. It's a great way to help the podcast and it doesn't cost you a thing. Follow One Man Podcast on all the major socials and you'll get bonus content and pictures, fun stuff for yourself. And finally, if you have something that you want read on the show, send it to contact@onemanpodcast.com because if you send it, I'll read it on an upcoming episode. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
What's up, everybody? This is DJ Demers.
I'm K. Trevor Wilson.
Hey, it's Krista Allen.
Hi, this is Rick Mercier.
What's up, guys? This is Paul Verzi, and you are listening to the One Man Podcast. Yeah!
My name is Josh Williams, and welcome to the One Man Podcast, episode number 260 for Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. How's it going, onesies? We are back. I am very sorry for the long hiatus, but we are back recording another episode of the One Man Podcast. Yeah! Woo! Listen to that crowd. Hot crowd. I apologize for being gone for so long. It's a lot has happened. A lot has happened. So if this is your first time ever tuning into the One Man Podcast, this is me, Josh Williams. What is this podcast? It's my life. This is kind of like my public journal. It lets you know what's going on with me, Josh Williams, comedian, human, earthling. You know, whatever's going on in the world with me, I tell you right here. So if you happen to be a fan of my my stand-up, which I haven't done for some time, that's all. I almost haven't done. Actually, I have not done stand-up since you guys have heard an episode. So how about that? It's not just the podcast that I have been neglecting. Is it neglecting? I don't know. A little bit. I will tell you a little bit of that. But I'm going to let you guys know everything that's going on. So let's start with welcome back, everybody. I do realize that it's been some time since I've done an episode. I believe mid-November of 2021 was the last episode that came out. So let me tell you, we're talking about all sorts of different things. I'm going to tell you guys about everything that's gone on between then and now. But I'm also, I don't know if you guys noticed, the episodes jump from like 235 all the way to 260. Why does it jump? Because I'm going to retroactively go back, and every week I'm going to try to record an episode, the current week's episode, so that we can just continue to move on at a regular pace. You guys will know what's going on with me, and I will try to fill in those gaps. So I will try to have 2 episodes a week. One of them will give you a little more in-depth look into what was going on at the time. Between the big gap, the snapping. Let's just pretend Thanos killed the podcast. Can we do that? Thanos killed my podcast for 5 months instead of 5 years, huh? We downsized. Basically, I'm even listening on my ears here, and I see I sound different, and I'll address that. But I'm not sure if I'm just too close to the mic. Is the mic too hot? I'm going to turn it down a little bit and see if I can just enjoy the sound of my voice. I hope you can too. The window's open and I don't hear anything from outside, so I assume that the mic is doing a very good job of just narrowing in on my voice. Excuse me. It was even weird setting all the equipment up because I quite literally boxed my microphone, like my desk, like my SM7B is the model number, but it's pretty standard industry, podcasting mic on the higher end. Not bragging, I'm just saying that in terms of like the bigger podcasts and stuff, this is the mic that they use. But because I was going out on tour, I took the mic and I was like, hey, well, I'm not gonna be using this for a while. I'm gonna be using the mobile setup. I boxed it up. I was like, yeah, it doesn't need to sit out and get dusty or anything like that. So I took it and I put it back in the box, and it wasn't until today that I opened it back up. In fact, my desk has had just tons of stuff all over it for the longest time. Just didn't have room to properly set up for the podcast. And I've been dragging ass a bit. All right. Okay. So far, none of this is entertaining, but I'm just trying to let you guys know. This is me holding my own feet to the fire, just letting you guys know what's going on. So connecting everything again was like, how did I do this? Like even the arm on my desk for the mic is like it was stiffer than normal. I had it at the point where I could just sort of move it around and connect the mic or whatever. So even that was like finessing to get it back to kind of where I can just grab the mic and move it. So if I want to, sit further back in my chair or, move forward to lean over to read a book or something like that, I can do that. Anyways, bloppity bloop blap blee. So we got the podcast set up. That was a little odd. All right, let's just get right into it. Okay, guys, I'm going to be going back. I'm going to be giving you an episode for every week that you missed. In the event that I can't really remember what was going on, because there were some weeks, guys, where it was just getting really monotonous. Some things happened. I'll bang all that out. I got something very, very exciting coming up that I can't wait to share with you guys. All sorts of little plugs and things like that for things that are coming on. I've got the top 5 coming up later on, and I'll let you know what's coming up with me going forward. But as it stands, I'll just jump right into it. One of the reasons that we stopped the podcast, and I'm not sure if some of you guys noticed this, but I had done, we were on tour. We were on tour with a big company, and prior to the break, we were, naming the company, not excessively, but we were naming who we were working for and things like that. And sadly, during the tour, one of the members was dismissed because of posting on social media. So it was just one of those things where they were like, okay, everybody stop what you're doing, stop this and that. And so, for the time, at the time we're just like, okay, we got to stop. And not only do I have to stop, but I'm like, I should go back through the episodes and scrub out any mention of what we're doing, like in terms of naming companies and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's also episodes that you have heard that are no longer available. And that was just because I had to sit and listen to every episode and then go through and scrub it, basically put a bleep over any time I mention it. So I got a few of them done, but you guys know me, I can talk at length, and it was just hard to be like, okay, I'm going to sit and I can't just throw it on in the background, right? Because if I'm not paying attention, I could miss a mention, and I didn't want to lose my job or get in shit or anything like that. So, the company was very cool about it, but they were just like, yeah, just stop. The person who had thrown something up, I guess they had made like, a comical yet disparaging remark about the tour. They obviously meant no harm, but the client heard it and got very upset with it. So, and that was it. They were like, yeah, sorry, like there's already a no social media clause. And then to put it up there and say that, like, sadly it's there. And I don't know if I want to go into it too much in depth in that episode. Like, again, I will be going back, and that will be the first episode that I record retroactively, is trying to fill in that gap, moving forward. So, yeah. Happy 2022, by the way, guys. This is the first episode that I've recorded in 2022. So, happy new year, into April. I'm wishing you a happy new year, the tail end of April, I might say. Yeah, so basically we stopped recording, and I was like, okay, I got to scrub those episodes, and let's be careful going forward, and yada, yada, yada. And then we had a break coming up for the holidays. So I was just like, all right, I'm just going to wait till the holidays and we'll do it then. And then holidays came, all sorts of other things. And, again, that will all be filled in for you guys, going back, but I'm going to give you just some cliff notes to look forward to, in the past. And of course, if I reference them real quick, you'll be like, okay, that was a thing, but you just don't know too much about it. Give you an excuse to go back and listen to those episodes once they get posted. You get a new notification anyway, so it doesn't really matter what the number is or the date. You'll just hear a story from that time. So the tour had the holidays, New Year, of course. I started a new program for a credit card company. A new credit card company. As a matter of fact, the company is called Neo, which means new. But I worked for them throughout January, and I just finished a program from them this last week. So I will tell you guys a little bit about that going forward, and of course, I will tell you a lot about it in the older episodes, because it was a thing. Let me tell you, Jesus, your boy caught COVID. That's right, I got the Rona. So that was frustrating. I caught that in the middle of the program where I was leading. It was very, very, very difficult to try to do my job and have COVID. And I was doing it, of course, from home. I wasn't going out in public, whatever. But yeah, we got it. Jason and I got it at the same time. We got it from the ever diligent, ever careful, ever whatever. I don't want to be too rude, but Kamar brought it home. What a surprise. Kamar brought home a disease. Or sorry, a virus, I should say. But yeah, and he got better in like I think 2 days, and it lingered with Jay and I for quite a while. It was just, now we're Jason and I are both double vaxxed. Actually, Kamar is too. I was gonna say, I think Kamar was kicking and screaming, didn't want to get vaccinated. But yeah, he got over it in like 2 days, and Jay and I had it for like, you know, the lingering cough and everything like that for the longest time. Like I would say sick for probably a good 10 days, like full blown sick. And then, you know, just like clearing out the system or whatever. Maybe full blown sick for a week, and then like a good week to 2 weeks of just lingering cough, system clearing itself out or whatever. I strongly encourage anyone who's not vaccinated to get vaccinated, because it sucked. It wasn't brutal. It was just like a really, you know, bad fever, cough, not feeling well, chills at times, sore muscles. But had I not been vaccinated, it hit me harder. It would have been a bad way. And again, I've only been a couple of weeks since I had it. Well, a couple of weeks? No, it's been probably a month, or maybe a good 6 weeks since I was actually sick with it. But yeah, like it's only been a couple of weeks since I haven't really had any like lingering effects. And even then my voice is rough. Like I lost my voice for a good week and a half. And I mean, lost it. Couldn't speak. It would come back in the evening for like an hour, and it was like bad. I would have to push to talk. And, yeah, it was just brutal. If you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. I'm sorry if the toothless guy down at your auto body shop told you that, they're injecting you with, what is it? GPS trackers that haven't been invented yet. And that's why you shouldn't get vaccinated. If you're getting your medical advice from Earl, you probably, you know, I would just say for your own sake, maybe try listening to the people that make the medicine or discover the diseases. They might have spent a little bit more time, not only in high school, but actually reading. And I'm so sorry. And again, I'm so sorry if any of my onesies are like hard anti-vax because Earl told them to be. Like, again, I apologize. I'm just really not trying to be that much of a prick about it. But the person who brought us the coronavirus was it's so funny. Simon brought it into the house, and Kamar brought it into the house. You know what I mean? And if you've been listening for a long enough time, my two roommates, those are usually the two that are making the smartest, most educated decisions on a regular basis. So yeah, you know, if you think that the mechanic, the guy who's like, I had to learn how to change oil because the book reading was too hard, you know, or the teacher was a liberal, or whatever their reason was for not completing their education, you know, they're like, I already know how to hunt critter. What do I need? What do I need a fancy piece of paper for? Huh? Start a fire when I'm camping? Maybe. But you can just steal those from the newspaper box. Do they still have those? Are newspaper? I really don't think newspaper boxes are still a thing. Put money in and get a newspaper on the go? I don't believe so. Anyways. Sorry, guys. Like, I will cough a little bit lingering here too. So there was the NEO program. Something else that happened, and I'm just going to touch on this briefly, guys. And I'd really, I've already spoken with some of you about it. So some of you are aware and have even offered suggestions. I'm going to mention this, but it's really troubling. It's really uncomfortable. But I'm just going to let you guys know that it's going on. And I would just ask that everybody not contact and give me their you know, armchair expert, advice. You know what I mean? I appreciate the care and concern. Truly, I do. It's just been tough. It's been weighing on me heavily. I've been dealing with it ever since the podcast hasn't been happening, and it's ebbed and flowed. But going back, so there was a little break where we went home for like a week. I'll talk about that on that episode. But as I was home, I developed this little, I don't even know what to call it. It was a little odd sensation in my throat. And it kind of felt like something was stuck in there, a little irritant or whatever it was. And I was out having dinner with Crystal. I mentioned, I'm like, a couple of days now, I've had this like, weird little sort of tickle in my throat. And it's just weird and uncomfortable. Right now, a couple of days, you just think, maybe I hurt something. I coughed too bad because I definitely, we were working in the cold, working our asses. I was working like 7 days a week, hard hours, like a lot of work, more than I'm used to. So I definitely taxed my system, no question. And I remember I had a pretty bad coughing fit because I deal with like post-nasal drip and other stuff like that. And I remember just my throat feels fucked up. And I went back on the road and like it just stayed, you know what I mean? And then a couple of weeks later, I was home for, a minute, and I even reached out to my doctor and was like, hey, what is this? And he's like, oh, you know what? It sounds like, you may have just messed your system up or whatever. He gave me, a few days of pills, and, of prednisone. Anyways, I don't want to give too much detail, but the idea is like it went away when I was on the pills, which was nice, but I have this tightness in my throat. It seems to only be on the right side, and it's hard even to locate specifically where it is. It makes swallowing hard at times. The throat's a lot of discomfort to swallow. There's also like a tendon sort of plucking that happens, I would say 90% of the time. So I swallow and it's like there's a tendon and then it's getting plucked like a guitar string. Makes it very, very uncomfortable at the end of the day. Like my neck is kind of sore from that thing plucking all the time. No idea what it is. I have gone to the hospital. I've had it, they've checked. Everybody assures me it's not cancerous. I'm actually still waiting for an appointment to see an ear, nose, and throat specialist. But it comes and goes. Everyone's like, well, it's not cancer because if it was cancer, it would just grow and grow and grow and that would be it. But when I had COVID, I didn't really notice it, to be honest with you. Like my system was fighting so many other things. So I don't know if like my regular, someone, a good friend and listener of the podcast had said that it might be something to do with like an allergic reaction in the throat and your system's trying to fight something. And that'll cause like tightness and things like that. So, anyways, the medical condition wages on. It made it hard to talk at times. It was freaky. I was actually, part of the hiatus was me kind of being like, hey, maybe I'll just wait till this throat thing is over. Cause it had me cough. It really uncomfortable. So I was like, maybe I'll just wait for this throat thing to be over and then I'll start the podcast up again. It makes it difficult to talk. Well, it's still here. There's good days and bad days. My doctor doesn't know what it is. The person at the hospital didn't know what it is. They prescribed, Nasonex and post-nasal stuff. And I'll be honest, when I take it, it does subside a little bit. So I probably need to take it on a regular basis. No good excuse, just forgetfulness. I'm also taking like a lot has happened. I was also diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I've got, as a result of going to the hospital with the anxiety of what was going on in my throat, they sent me for all sorts of different things, for anxiety and stuff like that. And, they referred me to like a cognitive behavioral therapy thing. I have since started taking anti-anxiety medications, aka antidepressants, which I didn't know at the time. I was like, yeah, I'll take a little something for anxiety. Right, run a little high, little off focus, things like that, which I noticed that my thought process doesn't bang around as much. So I don't think it's not preventing my ADD, but it's certainly like mellowed me out. So I don't even notice if you guys can hear from me talking now that I'm not talking as fast as I normally do. So maybe this will be a little bit easier to listen to. Everyone's not like, I can't keep up with you because you're crazy and you talk too fast. So, I've been on those since January, I believe, or December. Excuse me. So there's that. What else? I don't know. Basically I'm just trying to say that like, I'm waiting to find something out. My throat is affected. I was actually worried going into this. We're 18 minutes in and I don't feel any, I was really worried because I can feel it in my throat when I talk. It affects, in fact, even the issues where I feel the delay in speaking. So just like I talk and I feel like not not a delay, but an issue, right? If you have like a laryngitis, you could feel like where the clogs are. The clog in my vocals even feels like it's right in that spot that has the irritation. So I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to talk for an hour straight. But hey, where there's a will, there's a way, and that's me. I also bought these Mana cups from Costco. Nice plastic reusable cups with straws. So no slurping my water. It's a nice little from the straw. But ooh, I almost forgot. I got a coffee sitting there waiting for me. Hang on, onesies. I just remembered I was like, oh, I'm going to be sipping the straw, so I won't be bothering anybody. And then I was like, oh, but I still have my coffee. And then I was like, oh, my coffee. Didn't even bring it over. I got my nice stress release. Essential oils from sage. They smell phenomenal. Very relaxing to listen to. Smell, olfactory senses. What's olfactory? I don't know. I've heard that word. Smart people said. Again, scientists. Earl down at the old garage. Earl's going to have to be a new guy. And Earl, I felt like was too basic. I wanted to do like Merle, or like Jim Bob. But even those feel like they've been used too much. I want to get a nice southern backwoods. Let's see if Siri can help me. Hey, Siri, what's a redneck southern male name?
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Well, here we go. We got ourselves 124 greatest redneck hillbilly and southern names of all time. They're both male and female. So we are going to do a live rename because I feel like Earl is going to be like that guy that has the bad advice. Earl's a character now that I need to go, but Earl is too. So we're going to do a live rename of Earl. So let's hit these. Let's get you guys going. All right. Let's do, let's pick, I'm going to pick 3 and then I'll get you guys to suggest what Earl's name. We're going to do the Earl rename, even though he's only had that name for a little while. I feel like old Earl, he's got himself, but Earl also feels like an old guy. I want that fucking right in the middle. Like, there's Earl who owns the joint, right? Earl made a business, right? Made a couple of business decisions, started the mechanic shop. Like the guy's got a little bit of an entrepreneurial nerve in him. You know what I mean? So that guy, he's like, all right, I can start it. Earl owns the place. I'm talking about the guy who's like 2 years younger than Earl. So he's still old, still missing teeth, but this motherfucker just works for Earl. All he did was go, hey, Earl, you got work for me? Okay. So let's say Earl's, understudy, his sidekick. So we're going to pick a few of them. I'm just going to start reading the names. I might not even recognize them as we go through, but I'm going to get 3 names and then I'm going to ask you guys to pick which one you think makes the most sense. And I'll probably only get like 1 or 2 emails. So it could be in your hands. But the email is contact@onemanpodcast.com and I will happily look and see, we will name this character who I imagine will be a staple when referring to idiots. What do we got here? We got Amelia, Alice, Ada, Alden, first male one, Alden, Augustus. Augustus is a southern name. Shut up. Bart, Bettina, Billy, Billy Bob, Billy Ray, Bo, Bobby Joe. Bobby Joe I've only seen once, and that was like in Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. Bubba also very used. Bodine, Briar, Bubba, there it is. Bucephalus, Buck. One's a little easy. Bud, Buddy, Carolyn, Carson, Casey, Chandler, Charles Ray, Charlton, Chester. Ooh, okay. Chester's the first one that's going on. Chester. Oh, here's old Chester. Clarice, Cleven, Cleven and Cliff Clavin, maybe. Cleon, Cletus, also, yeah. Clifton, Clint, Clyde, Cody, Cooper, Cooter. I got dirt in her cooter. Coy, Dale is another good one. Daisy, Delmont sounds like the one who doesn't talk. You know what I mean? Oh, Delmont out there, he just sings to his fishes. Dixie, Doc, Donnie, Dwayne, Duke. Again, Duke sounds like John Wayne, so there's a little bit of like admiration to it. Dwayne, obviously. Earl, there it is. Elrod, Enos, Eustace, Florence, Floyd William, Ford, Forrest, Garth, Georgina, Harley, Henrietta, Homer, Horace, Houston, Huck, like Huck Finn. Huck is just not fun to say, though. It's too close to fuck, and it's, old Huck, he told me. It's got to be I want at least 2 syllables, I think. What was the one I picked already? Chester. Yeah, Chester's 2 syllables. Jackson, Jed, Jefferson, Jerry Lee, Jim Bob. That was one I quoted earlier. Jimmy Don. Old Jimmy Don. Old Joe Bob. There's John Boy. Old John Boy. Down at the thing. Josephine Jr., Keaton, Lee, Lonnie. So that's a girl's name, right? Lucille, obviously. Luther. Lila, Lynn, Mary Grace, Magnolia. I disagree. Mika. Mika, M-I-C-A-H. My best friend in the entire world is named Mika, and he listens to the podcast. Mika, according to this list, your name is one of the 124 greatest redneck, hillbilly, and southern names of all time. Yeehaw! But in all fairness, Mika is also a Dutch name, and his parents are Dutch. And there's not a lot. I don't know what the redneck southern area of Holland is. Otis. Ooh, Otis. Yeah. Otis. Let's put Otis on the list. Chester, Otis. It's a lot of wacky content, right? Owen Percy Purvis. Purvis. He's an old Purvis, that guy. Quinn, Raleigh, Ray Nathan. Ray, like Ray hyphen Nathan. Ray Nathan. Rebel, Rhett, Ricky Bobby. These are all in alphabetical order, obviously. Maybe they read this list when they were making Ricky Bobby's name. Rocky, Roscoe. Roscoe sounds like an old black man, right? Like Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. I could be wrong, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm disparaging against Rowan. Against what, Josh? You just going to let it trail off there. Yeah, I painted myself into a corner. I just didn't know. I didn't want to disparage against the minorities, the black community. There we go. Roscoe, Rowan, Roy, Rufus, Saggery. She got some Saggery titties. Sally, Scarlett, Sheridan, Sherman, Spencer, Stella. I'm running out of names here. We're in the T's. Tiberius. Tiberius does not sound like something named Tommy Lee, Traeger, Tucker. There you go. So I didn't put Dale on there. But, Tucker. Tyler, Violet, Virginia, Wade, Walker, Wilbur. Yeah, let's go Wilbur. I used to know Wilbur, Woody, Yates, and Zadie, in case you were wondering. So Wilbur. All right, guys. There's your I don't even remember what I was talking about when I started getting this character. Chester, Otis, or Wilbur. Which of those ones do you guys like? All right. But anyways, old Chester Otis Wilbur. He he's got the information there. That guy, he knows, right? Anyways, like I said, I really don't remember what the fuck I was talking about before I went off on that. But I do like my dumb Southern. Now, there's a lot of dumb people there, but again, when someone's like, they always go to the Southern accent. You know why? Because there's a lot of stupidity there. That's why. So, they've got that going, and every now and then I think something's incredibly stupid and I mention it. So something's wrong with my neck, waiting on doctors, been on meds. I'm going through my list here. I want to give you guys like a brief broad strokes catch up. I've got some great news I'm excited about. I'll tell you guys about the last week of my Neo program, even though you guys don't know what it is. So I'm going to tell you about the Neo card, and then I'll tell you about the last week. I did mention that the tour had happened. The holidays, I'll tell you guys about those in those episodes. Again, happy 2022. I did have COVID, and the issues with my neck and stuff like that. So, I'll, again, I'm not trying to make this forever. It's already 27 minutes in, and I hope some of this has been entertaining. Let me tell you guys about this, Neo program. How about that? Sadly, my American listeners and international listeners are not eligible for this. Very rare. It's usually like an American company that's not eligible for my Canadian listeners. But, there is a card that just started in Canada about a year or so ago, and it's called Neo. It's partnered with MasterCard, so it is in fact a MasterCard. If anyone's like, oh, fuck, here we go, MasterCard pitch. This is really worth listening to. I was actually on the tour when I got the call for this program. Like we were driving to a new location in the RV, and Jen called me, one of my contacts from one of the companies, and she was like, "Hey, I have like a really awesome opportunity coming up, like a really wicked program that I think you might be interested in." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "So it's a MasterCard." And I was like, I'm out. I do not want to shill credit cards. I do not give a fuck. I'm not interested in that." And she's like, no. Seriously, hear me out, because this one's actually pretty good and pretty interesting. So I was like, all right. So, I mean, we were driving, I had nothing better to do than listen. So I listened, and this thing is actually super cool. So I will say, feel free to be skeptical. Feel free. I was, so should you be. But when I'm done explaining what it is, I have a promo code for you guys, to give you $50 worth of free spending, like debt free, interest free, all that stuff, just $50 for free. Which sounds like, it's not that much. It's free. It's free. No strings attached. So the Neo card is something started by the same company that did Skip the Dishes. I shouldn't say same company, I should say the same founder, same people who designed Skip the Dishes. So for, again, my American listeners, Skip the Dishes is a food delivery service exactly like Uber Eats and exactly like DoorDash. So here in Canada, or at least in Ontario, like, you see the doors, it's Uber Eats, DoorDash, Skip on all of them. So those are the three major programs. So they started that. They sold their company, made a shitload of money, and then decided, hey, it's, let's work on our next project. These guys are serial entrepreneurs. So their next project was a way for, Canadians to spend and save money. So the idea is, obviously that's not like their goal. Their goal is make a good product, right? But at the end of the day, it's how do we help Canadians spend and save money? And they're using a similar idea to Skip, which is taking a bunch of restaurants that don't provide delivery and then creating a delivery platform for them, right? So that even if you're a small company, you don't have delivery drivers, your food can be offered as delivery. So they did that, and now they're looking at doing a similar. They have created a similar platform for credit card rewards. So for example, if you're a big company like Best Buy or Walmart or whatever, of course you offer your own financial card available. Hey, do you have the Walmart card? Do you have the Canadian Tire card? Do you have the Best Buy card? Whatever it may be. It's like, yeah, well, they're big enough to create a whole program for themselves because they just have sheer volume. But what if you're a little, what if you're a little shop, a little coffee shop, you got 2-3 stores in a city, you're not big enough to have a whole credit card designed for you, right? But you still want to incentivize people to come shop for you and get rewarded and earn while they're using their card at your location. So what this company Neo does is it's actually a cashback rewards card. So it's an instant cashback, which is very important because I have a cashback MasterCard. Oh, ladies calling. One sec, guys. Well, but an hour or so later, not the phone call, by the way, just everything that came as a result of the phone call. Yeah, I was in the middle of saying Neo. So little small town, little stores don't have big enough for their rewards programs. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to reach back to an hour ago in my head. And, yeah, so with the Neo card, it's an instant cashback card, which is a big deal because, I have, that's what I was saying. I have a Costco MasterCard and I get 2% cash back on all of my purchases at Costco. Not to mention little cashback rewards here and there. But the thing is, I get that check once a year. You know what I mean? So in terms of influencing my decision, if I'm like, oh, but if I use this card, then, hey, in 6 months or not 6 months, let's say it's, a little ways into the year. Oh yeah, in 9 months from now, I'll get, 40 cents back because I use this card for a coffee or something. Pfft, not even close. You're right. I'm not getting 40 cents on a coffee. That's ridiculous. I'm going to get 16. It doesn't influence which card I use or my incentive to get a card if I'm getting paid once a year. Now, cashback isn't a bad thing. I'd rather get it than not get it. But at the end of the day, 2% once a year isn't influencing my decision. But with Neo, it's instant. So You go and you use it at one of the partner stores, use your card, you get your cash back instantly. So as soon as you're done your purchase, it's loaded immediately into your account. You can go right into the app and cash it out right away back onto your card or into one of your other Neo accounts because they have savings and other shit too, which is really cool to like legitimately get money back instantly. And here's the thing, the percentages much higher. But before I go into the percentages, I'll tell you this. So Neo has partnered with tons, and I mean tons, is over 5,000 partners in 100,000 different locations in Canada. And the idea is they're partnered with, for example, Booster Juice, Boston Pizza, Second Cup, Bridgehead for my people here in Ottawa. I'm just mentioning some of the food places, but they're partnered with, come on, Eddie Bauer. They're partnered with the LCBO and the SAQ on the Quebec side. Again, to get cash back at those places, not like points for air miles, but like straight up cash back for shopping at the liquor stores. They're partnered with Netflix, Spotify, and Disney Plus, as well as Crave TV. I've actually got my Crave TV account set up on that. And as I mentioned, instant cash back, right? So for example, with Disney Plus, Spotify, and all those, they're 1% cash back. Now that doesn't sound like a lot. And it, at the end of the day, it isn't, but you're not getting cash back on those services on your credit card currently. I'll tell you that right now. I know that for a fact because they don't offer it, but they're partnered with Neo. So when you put your Disney Plus account on, you're getting, what is it, $10 a month? And you're getting 1% cash back. You're going to get 23 cents or something? It's not a big deal. But when you put all four of those services, if you have them like I do, getting $1 back a month, that's $12 a year. Now, you wouldn't get a credit card for $12 a year. That's not a very big deal. However, that's just one of the aspects. Okay, the coffee, right? Bridgehead is 10% cash back, which is nuts, right? So you buy a coffee for $3, you're getting 30 cents back, which again, doesn't sound like a lot, but if you buy a coffee every single day, getting 30 cents back every single day, that adds up, right? Or even a couple times a week, it adds up. The LCBO is 2%. So again, you get $2 back on every 100 you spend. And a lot of people go in there easily, buy a few bottles of wine or a bottle of booze and something else. Like you can get to 100 real quick to get $2 back every time you go there, right? Let's say an average. I buy bottles of whiskey for like $200-300 at times. I haven't in a while, but I do that, so to get $4 or $5 back instantly, that's the big one. It's not just like, it's all adding up for that end of the year check. It's instant. I get it right away. Now, like I said, there's shitloads. Boston Pizza's 10%. Second Cup, 8%. I know that the Kettleman's, big bagel place here in Ottawa, Kettleman's is 10% cash back. Cadman's Bagels, 8% cash back. I'm just going off the top of my head, by the way, from working this program. So, it's nuts. And it's got an app that's live. You can search for promos either, like through a map, or you can just search like names. It'll basically put together a bunch of stuff. It also learns your trends and will give you, suggestions. Like, so for example, right here, I'm looking at it right now. H&R Block, do your taxes, 8% cash back. Napa Auto Parts, 9% cash back. Whatever MPG Sport is, it looks like a fitness studio. It's 13% cash back. Do you know what I mean? 13 at Saucony, Saucony. I don't know what that is, but like, these are big ones. Home Depot gives you, what does Home Depot give me? Home Depot gives me 3% cash back at Home Depot. Instant. Guys, this is crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the things, they've got ones nearby. Restaurants are crazy. Craft Bar down at TD Place is like, forgive me. I'm looking at it right now. Kettleman's right now is 13% instant cash back. Anytime Fitness, 3%. I'm just looking through, I'm like a bunch of them I'm trying to, there's one here called Super Salads on Preston near Absolute Comedy, 13% instant cash back. You know what I mean? There's a local Legends place. It's a floral design, 9%, Sugar and Slice, 13%, Kilbourne Pharmacy, 9% at a pharmacy. Press Cafe is 22%. Oh, I get their breakfast all the time. 22% cash back instant. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not going to influence where you're going. Guys, the nice thing about this app is that you can just bust up. Booster Juice is 13% currently. That's fucking bomb diggity. Did I use my card? I was there the other day. No, I wasn't. Not at this one. You can just jump on the app. I'm telling you, there's literally 5,000 partners. Like, a lot of big things. Factory Direct. Like, there's all sorts of ones. Like I said, that's right. Yeah, I paid to upgrade. $1.99 a month. But yeah, I pay $2.99 a month, so you don't have to. You pay $2.99 a month and it upgrades your cash back. So I actually get 2% cash back on Crave, 2% on Disney Plus, 2% on Netflix, 2% on Spotify. Absolutely free. I get 2% cash back at Costco, guys. So that means I have an executive membership that I get 2% back on all my purchases. And if I use my Neo card on top, like to pay, I get an additional 2%. Means I'm getting a total of 4% cash back at Costco. How fucking awesome is that? Gabriel Pizza, 4%. Metro, the grocery store, 2% instant cash back. Dollarama, Bath and Body Works, Second Cup, Kernels. Kernels is 10%. It used to be 18 in the introductory. Chapters. You kidding me? 3% at Chapters, guys. Like Shoppers Drug Mart, 2%. This is, Sage is on here now, 2%. Fuck yeah. I was literally telling you guys about that thing. So what I'm saying is, also don't get me wrong, all the gas is too, 2%, just like your regular card. So if everyone's like, I get more with my card. No, you fucking don't. I'm telling you right now, you don't. And here's the big thing. I haven't even said the most important thing, because everyone's like, well, yeah, but the fees. No fees on the Neo card. No fees. You hear me? No fees. You don't pay monthly fees. You don't pay any sign-up fees. There's no hidden tax. Literally no fees. You do pay interest like any other credit card, but there's no monthly fees. So, as I mentioned before off the top, I'm not trying to overplug this, guys, but I'm telling you this fucking card is awesome. And I'll tell you about the ups and downs we had with the program. The program was just fucking ridiculous. But the issue is that you can't get anyone to listen to you for 2 seconds, right? And anyone who listened signed up for the card, super happy. Super happy. I'm using this thing like crazy. I keep the balance at 0. But just using the card, like I use it as a discount card. But yeah, no fees, guys. So when I said at the top, you get $50 for free. You can literally sign up for the card, get free $50 to spend. If you spend it at these places that give you cash back, it's going to keep giving you money back as well. And if you hit, you spend that 50 and you're like, you know what? I don't want to use this card. Great. You never pay anything for it. It doesn't cost you anything unless you leave a balance on it, in which case you pay interest. But the $50 is absolutely free. And this thing has discounts everywhere. Again, like some people are like, well, I just rather pay with my debit. I don't want to put it on a card. Great. Pay it with your debit. This thing's linked. This thing can link to your bank account and you can literally pay it off instantly. I do that too. I e-transfer money. I have a Neo savings account, which by the way has a 1.45% interest on it, which is really high. It's, I believe, the highest in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. So again, you put anything in your savings account, you've got a 1.5. They call it Neo Money account. Like everyone's like, I don't want a savings. It's basically a checkings account, but just because of financial rules and stuff like that, it has to be categorized as a savings account, but it operates as a checking account. I basically will pay for my meal or wherever I am, and then in 2 seconds go on the app, transfer, boom, zero it out. But I got the cash back. So what I do is I dump the cash back onto the card, and then I pay the difference back from my account. So like literally I'll go to like Boston Pizza and it's 10% off, right? Also, if I'm walking around, I'll open the Neo app and go to the map and it shows me all the partners in the area, which is like crazy. It explodes with color, all the different places, and be like, oh, I want to go somewhere to eat. Oh, look, there's a Booster Juice here. It's 13% cash back. Let's go grab Booster Juice, right? If I was going to get it anyways, so the whole point is you go like, well, what's in it for them? The whole idea is Neo makes money off the interest. That's how they're making money. And they're also building a financial company with savings. They're working on mortgages, all sorts of things like that. So they're literally creating a new financial company. And one, because the financial district hasn't been upgraded in like 100 years. And you go like, of course that's, you'd be surprised. A lot of the internal stuff and the workings and how the shit works hasn't been updated in a very, very, like decades and decades and decades. They're still using an old system called Cobalt in the back end. So Neo is like all new, fresh take on finance and stuff like that. And, like I said, I've been loving it. I'm saving money fucking everywhere and it's great. Like I said, this is stuff I would have bought anyways with my debit card. And I'm just like, okay, I'll use my Neo card and then I pull it back. You can upload it to your Apple Wallet. So if you apply for it, you get it right away. You can throw it on your wallet right away, start using it, putting it into, your online payment stuff. So like I said, Disney Plus, Netflix, Spotify, all that fun shit. If you're like, I'd like to use that right away. And this is like, no joke, guys. Like, again, I would never, like the love I have for you guys that listen, I would never plug a product towards you and push you towards something. I use it myself. I love it. It definitely helps. Like I said, even just going to the grocery store, 2% cash back. Why not use the card immediately? Still get my air miles, still get whatever other promos they're doing. You're just paying with that and getting a cash back. You know what I mean? Even some of these places that already have their things, you get 1% cash back at Walmart. So again, you already like guys, I'm telling you, instead of having a card that's like the Scene card where you are paying monthly fees and when you spend, you're getting points that you can use in one place. The whole idea with Neo is that not everybody shops at the same place. So why would you have a card that only rewards you at one place or gives you a little bit of cash back at the end of the year? The whole point of this is, hey, shop how you're going to shop. Here's the places they're going to pay you. And like I said, the incentive for a small business, because the businesses are the ones that pay the cash back, not Neo. Their thing is like, well, I get to be a part of a bigger platform that allows me to partake in the rewards game. So I can incentivize my customers to come here because they get a discount through Neo. You know what I mean? So yeah, hey, if you come shop here, we give you 5% cash back. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And instead of being like marketing and promo and stuff like this, right? Because one person's like, well, yeah, but you're making the small business pay their money. It's like, we're not making them. They choose to be a part of the platform. But on top of that, it's not like, so let me tell you about one conversation that I had. And I'm sorry if you guys are like, fuck, when is this ad going to end so we can go back to your boring life? I'm sorry. This is what I'm talking about. So the idea is, one woman was like, yeah, but now the small business has to like pay out a portion of what they're making instead of just them getting the whole amount. Well, we're like, well, for starters, we're not taking any of that money. The money that they're paying out goes to the customer, not us. And she's like, yeah, but they're still losing money. I'm like, well, yeah, but you would not have necessarily thought of them if you weren't on the app looking and going, oh, I get this. And I go, advertisement like costs money. So this is a way for them to advertise their business that doesn't just go to nothing. I'm like, you buy a commercial, are you mad at that company? Like, are you mad at people for watching the commercial and then buying? Oh, well, they spent $15,000 for that commercial. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it costs money to advertise, but at least in this case, they only lose the money. They only spend the money in the event that you buy something from them. Right? They're not like, oh, you get $3 for looking at our thing on the app. You're literally paying, like, they're getting a purchase out of it. Groupon, takes fuckloads of money. So like, I think, cause Jason, I know, we'll put Absolute Comedy tickets on there every now and again. And it's like on Groupon, I believe you have to offer your product for less than 50%, which I think the rule has changed. Cause now you're looking at like prices. It's like, it'll show 20% off and stuff on Groupon. But, it was basically like at the time years ago, it was like, you have to offer your product for at least 50% off. And then on top of that, Groupon takes the 25% of what's left, the 50% that's left, Groupon takes 25%. So as a vendor, you're making 25% of what you're offering, but as an attempt to sell a lot of it, right? That was Groupon's, I remember when they first came out, it used to be that in order for the Groupon to work, X amount of people had to buy it. So for example, there was a place like, I remember Hintonburger is probably one of the first places I ever tried, local to Ottawa. Anyone else wouldn't know it, but you had to like, it was like, you get a burger for half price. So, or like a quarter of the price. But the idea was 500 people had to buy that coupon in order for it to activate. So that's the whole point of the Groupon name, was the whole X amount of people have to buy it and that activates it. If you didn't sell, it's like a Kickstarter basically for a business. Right. And then we sold 500 of them. So at least on the plus side, hey, we're not going to make a ton of money, but we get a bunch of advertising. Instead of giving away free samples, we're going to do a break even, but advertisement, and people will try it. And it's, it's a good way to get advertising out there. Now Groupon sells shit for like, just 20% off. I've also seen treatments where if you get a hold of the place and ask them their prices, their price is the price that they claim on Groupon as the discount. Right. So it's like, ooh, the laser treatment, $1,200 on sale for $197. Then you call them or go to their website and it's like the treatment's $197. So you're like, really, they're just trying to make you think that you're getting a super sweet deal. And then you buy it and you're like, oh, I just bought the service at its regular price. You know what I mean? Whereas some places are legitimately giving you a discount and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll give them a try. In fact, if I notice that a place is getting a legitimate discount, what I'll do is I'll actually call them and say, hey, I'm on Groupon. I'm looking at the Groupon. If I come to you directly, will you give me this price? Because that way they don't have to cut Groupon in. So the guy who details my car, he still gives me the Groupon price. But it was good, dude. I called him up and I was like, listen, it says your service $150 or whatever, which I looked at. I'm like, Groupon selling it for 75. If I come in, give you 75, is that good? He's like, absolutely. A lot of these businesses, like, absolutely. They do not want to lose the money. I'm just like, I can buy it from Groupon. If they say no, it's their, not they're stupid, but at the end of the day, I can buy it on Groupon and you just you'll get half of this. So And I don't need to do that for me, right? When I'm doing that, that's not for me. That's for the business. I don't want Groupon taking your money. I think it's absolutely unfair. Anyways, it's like the same with the old delivery systems. They're like, yeah, you take from the business. We don't take anything from the business. We don't get a cut of the sale. We don't take any of that cash back. The cash back goes directly to the customer. Anyways, I've been on this for a long time, guys. I'm trying to explain to you that I've been using this card for months. I'm thrilled with it. Like I said, for stuff I'm buying anyways, to be getting money back right away. Again, this is not like, hey, you're getting cash back everywhere. I got a card that gives me 2% cash back once a year when I shop at Costco. Every now and again, if I use it for gas, I'll get an extra few bucks. I get a check for $100 and usually $30 a year. And I buy a lot of stuff at Costco. Okay. I have got, I don't know if this will say, I'll try to do it quickly so that I'm not hemming and hawing, but I've barely been out of the house this month because I've been working a project from home, and I've already got like $15 cash back. Yeah, I barely used it. You know, I got $12 back at Costco from a shop that I did recently. That was awesome. You know, cashed out to my credit account. Yeah, it's awesome. I went to Gabriel Pizza, $1.81, you know, back on my purchase, just right there, instantly cashed out. Like I said, 23 cents off my Crave, cashed it out, you know. Anyways, I mean, that's not 23 cents. My point is, try it. If you're in Canada, try it. It works all over the country. We have partners all over the country. The big names that I mentioned are all over the country. If you like feel free to sign up for the Neo thing. Let me see. I believe it's, I got a promo code here. I have my code, which will get you guys free $50. But you need to go to, whatever, Neo, Neo, Neo Financial. Go to Neo Financial. When it asks you for the promo code is A as in Apple, 3, J as in Josh, 8, Z as in Zoe, 4, U as in urethra, and 5. So A3J8 Z4U5. Now, you're like, that's a fucking wacky number, Josh. Just throw it at us. Tell you what, why don't I make it easy? Contact at onemanpodcast.com. If you're interested, send me an email. I will email you the code with the link, everything like that. Nice and easy. You just click on it. You sign up right over your own phone. You don't have to go in anywhere. You don't have to wait. You will get instant approval. It's like a few steps on your phone. So you just take a picture of your license, take a selfie with your face. It's all backed by the Alberta Trade, ATF, I think, Alberta Trade Finances or something like that, or ATF, whatever. The idea is it's all backed, all super legit, all insured. It's MasterCard, right, at the end of the day. So even though it's Neo card, it's a Neo MasterCard. Really, really stoked to be able to, to provide you guys with $50 on that. And at the same time, honestly, you guys help me out, because it gives $50 back my way. So, super, super stoked on this program. I'm still loving the card. I'm just letting you know, this is something that I did. I was a lead on this program, for a few different things. Tell you guys about that another time, because I see I'm already at the 50-minute mark and I haven't even gone on to talk about some of the other things. So this one will definitely be more than an hour, but I also have work to do. So I got to get my ass in gear, especially that I've lost an hour just shooting the shit. So again, contact at onemanpodcast.com. I will send you a link for the Neo card. Like I said, if anything, it's $50 for free. That's plenty of money to test out your local coffee places and things like that and get that cash back. And like I said, if you don't like it and you're like, you know what, I'm just not using it that much, it's $50 for free. Get yourself something nice. You're tossing $50 towards the One Man Podcast. And if you throw it in a drawer or you cut it up, it doesn't cost you anything. There's no fees. Not lying about it. There's no monthly fees. There's no individual fees. With the Neo Savings, you can do e-transfers. There's no fees for that. It's 1.43. Like I'm telling you guys, didn't love the program because the marketing aspect of it wasn't done. It's a bunch of tech guys thinking that they're a marketing firm, and they unfortunately aren't. They know tech. And I'll tell you guys about that in when I go back and record those episodes. But at the end of the day, they hired a marketing company to do their marketing for them, and they didn't listen to the company. They just were like, nah, let's do it our way. And unfortunately, like sitting in front of a computer, being a tech whiz is not the same as knowing how to communicate with people and market a product. So unfortunately, the program didn't go incredibly. But like I said, basically the way they had us set up, we looked like customer service in the mall. We didn't look like a financial company. We didn't look like a MasterCard company. Like it was really shitty how it looked. So it was a huge obstacle to try to get anyone to listen. But like I said, the people who listened, signed up for the card, super happy, super stoked, would pop back and visit us and tell us all the different things that they've been using it for and everything. Like, it's super, super cool. And like I said, I use it. The family uses it. Everyone in the program uses it. Super stoked. We're all sharing with each other. Like, oh, hey, I found a discount at this place. Blah, 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 blah. Like, and if you're actually out and about and you keep seeing these, decals, however you say it, in the window saying like Neo, yada, yada, that's what they're talking about. They are a Neo cashback location. So it's growing super fast. You guys get to be in on the ground floor of it. Hit me up one last time, contact@onemanpodcast.com. I won't keep plugging it all the time. I might just pop in and say, hey, if you haven't signed up for your Neo card, send me an email. I'll be happy to give you that code, or you have the code yourself. But like I said, it's a great way to toss $50 towards the podcast. And a great way to send $50 to your own pocket. All right. Sorry, gang. I haven't lost that in amidst everything else. What else? Still buying soaps. Still loving my natural soaps. In fact, I contacted a one-man show in California by the name of JD Bauer. He's got the company JD Bauer Botanicals. JD, super cool dude. Historian, botanist, makes his own soaps. I reached out to him because I saw a video online of someone reviewing one of his products. I'm like, that sounds amazing. Reached out to him. He currently only distributes in the USA, but I talked to him and he was like, I'd like to get into the Canadian market as well. And he's like, let me send you some soaps. I was like, dude, I would love that. So he sent me 4 bars of soaps. And oddly enough, they went all the way to Australia before coming back here. So he was checking. He's like, hey, did you get the soaps yet? I was like, actually, no, I was going to reach out and say like, hey, did they, was there any issue? And he's like, he looked into it and he sent me like screenshots of the fucking package in Australia. And then he updated me when it was like, hey, by the way, it's back. It's in your country now. It's back on this continent and in this hemisphere. So like, yeah, the soaps are better travel than I am, but these soaps are amazing. Like I'm so off of my other soap company, not because they suck or anything. They make great smells, but fuck me, these are great soaps. JD Bauer Botanicals, Bauer. Check out his stuff. Reach out to it. Like if you guys, care about that thing. This is not a soap podcast by any means, but if you care about that, reach out to him. Say Josh Williams, the One Man Podcast. Recommended. How can I get this products in Canada? He'll find a way to make it work for you. Cause we're working on that right now. If you're in the States, guys, easy to get to him. JD Bauer Botanical, just do it. You can order right off his website and ships right to you. His stuff is amazing. And JD and I have been chatting. I'm going to do a bonus episode with him where we just shoot the shit and, ask him about all this different stuff and how he got into it and his fascination with it. But super cool dude. He's super funny. Great sense of humor, really, really like him, and can't wait to have a chat with him on the One Man Podcast. In the meantime, loving his soaps. I used one already that was called Pirates Bay Rum. Smelled so good. Like so the company that I've been using for a long time is Dr. Squatch. And I buy their stuff. I've been selling their soaps. A lot of people seem to want it. It's, it takes forever to come to Canada. So I've been selling bars here. I just buy a lot of it and basically distribute. I was talking to JD about like, hey man, I'd love to be a distributor of your soap here because it's phenomenal. And so we're going to chat about that, but I'm like, I'm going to use up my Squatch stuff. And then I'm all about going forward, all about JD Bauer Botanicals, and I just hope I can keep it in stock long enough. Yeah, I'm jazzed, gang. I'm absolutely jazzed, and I can't recommend it enough. So check it out. And of course, it's another way to help podcast, right? It's like, hey, you want to do that? You want to really be a distributor of my soap? Fuck yeah. Right. And it makes us look good, right? More partners, more this. All right, whatever. I've talked about the Neo program the last week. I just basically finished up a Western tour for Neo. Neo is, I didn't even mention this. Neo is the official MasterCard of the Hudson's Bay now. Coast to coast. Neo is the official MasterCard. So again, if that gives any validity to this company, it's not just something small out of nowhere. Hudson's Bay is a huge department store, very iconic Canadian, and it's the official card of Hudson's Bay. So just finished up a thing where I was leading that with stores out in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC. So that's another thing I've been doing. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I've chatted at length, and I apologize for the delay in it. And I've got a couple more shout outs that I know people might be listening to, like, when the fuck are you going to say my name? I have, let me get this one out of the way real quick. My pal, Chris at the Idea Shop sent us some books, throughout the hiatus. And one of the ones that was sent to us was called Beneath Her Skin, which was like a murder mystery, kind of like a crime novel by, author C.S. Porter. And Chris put us in touch with him. And because Crystal was the one who read the book, she loves crime stuff, whatever. She read the book, and Crystal and I interviewed C.S. Porter. So Crystal sort of led the interview because she had read the book, and then I kind of jumped in and asked some questions, and the two of us were chatting with him. I have to edit it down because there was times where the gentleman was just kind of like, it's his first book. He was an older gentleman, and there was times where it was just kind of like getting him to talk was a little difficult, not gonna lie. We have an intro for the podcast where it kind of brushes on that too. But, once we got him talking, it was kind of fun. The book was very dark, and that is one thing in the interview that we touch on a little bit, but Crystal was like, it got fucking dark. And then she told me some of it, was like, holy shit. Like, yeah, would have been interesting to know where some of those ideas came from. But, anywho, that interview will be coming out soon. I need to edit it again. The interview itself is still on the recorder right here. So I need to get my ass in gear and get it off there and start editing it and cleaning it up. I've been working a lot. So, it's been tough to take the little bit of downtime that I've had and be like, all right, now let's work with it. Also, I'm not going to lie, guys, my breathing has been difficult. My lungs are still recovering from COVID, and, I get winded real easy. I am also a fat fuck, but I get winded very easily now, even just going up a flight of stairs, and I'm not like gasping, but I'm catching my breath afterwards. You know what I mean? It's rough. It's rough, but no more about that. That's kind of been the stuff. Like, again, it's a lot of it. It will come back to you guys in this, and just going forward, the podcast is going to be out every week. It's going to be out on time going forward with whatever we're doing. I have some outstanding news to share with you guys. I have been about 2 weeks with this, over the moon excited about it. And just been planning. Another reason why just lately I've been printing the notes, and it's been like, I gotta get the podcast. I'm glad to be doing it now because it's been so long since I've had one out for you guys. But this year, the lovely Crystal, by the way, we're still together. Things are going very, very well. We're very, very happy. Obviously she called during the podcast, but things are going really, really well. Very, very happy. The lovely Crystal turns 40 next month, and no woman loves that advertised or anything like that. But love my life, turns 40. What woman wants to turn 40? Originally this year, I had talked to her about in May taking her to Paris for her 40th. Paris, France has always been one of her bucket list items. And I said, hey, turning 40, why don't we take you to Paris for your birthday, right? Takes the sting off turning 40 a little bit. And we were excited about that. But because of COVID, like, we watched airfare prices, we were watching like travel rules and things like that. And just the more we got closer to the date, the more it was just like, this Paris thing doesn't look like it's possible, right? It doesn't look like it's possible. So, I don't know if she's gonna be able to get enough time off of work. What are, Paris's restrictions for when you land in isolation, coming back to Canada. So we kind of just were like, we'll have to figure out another time to do it when we can travel. And as things have gone, things have kind of cleared up a little bit, but it's a little last minute for Paris, for prices and stuff. And it's funny too, because, anyways, we were just sort of like, we'll have to postpone. That was it. A few weeks ago, we're out to breakfast, which I'll probably put in that episode too, so you guys will have to hear it again. But we're out to breakfast, and as we're walking to the car, I got to be honest with you guys, I don't know where it came from. I wasn't thinking about traveling. I don't think I was thinking about Vegas. If I did, it was like one of those subconscious things. I saw something, my brain connected. But as we're walking, I just turned to Crystal and I was like, hey, do you want to go to Vegas for your 40th? And she was like, yes. Right? Like just excited. But I think she might have been like, I don't even know if she believed me. I was like, okay, yeah, let's figure it out. Let's see what, so we were on our way home. So we just started looking at some prices and was like, this is very doable. Like, very, very doable. Her birthday's at the end of May. And I'm like, yeah, we're like 2 months out. Like, this is a good time. Like, let's let's do it. We're looking at hotels, airfares. I'm like, this is affordable. You know, it's not cheap, but cheaper than going to France and whatnot. And we booked, I'm going to just tell you guys, I'm sure I've told you before, we looked on Expedia and Kayak, the ones where it's like, oh, it's great. You get everything together and you get a discount. It's at the best prices. Incorrect. We looked on Expedia and got ourselves a price for a trip was about $3,200. Now, what we decided to do was there is a Paris resort and casino in Las Vegas. I figured I can't take you to Paris, France. I can take you to Paris, Vegas though. There's a half scale Eiffel Tower out front, a little Arc de Triomphe where the streets are. I was just like, this is going to be great. She's going to have a blast. Right. And it's not Paris, but I want you to be able to look at your hotel and see the Eiffel Tower. Now I have I've had to push for things, at the resort, and I will tell you guys about that another time. I'll go back on last week's episode when it would have been. I'll make sure I add that to the notes so that I know to speak on that. But we looked at the prices. So on Expedia, we would have got the room that we have now and a 16-hour flight. Okay, so we would have looked at flights that were, where is it? About 16 hours. They left Ottawa at like 8 a.m. They got us to Vegas at like 10 p.m. Right? So a whole flight day. And that was $3,200. So our round trip flights, and same thing back. We'd have to leave like early in the morning on Saturday, and we spend the day traveling, then we're home like Sunday night or even Sunday morning in some cases. Saturday night or Sunday morning. So I was like, yeah, fuck that. I went on a site called Momondo just to check. We were getting ready to pull the trigger on it, but just to check, I went on a site called Momondo for just the flights. And I got us round trip to Vegas. Our flight leaves at 10 a.m. on the Sunday when we leave. It stops at Chicago, so O'Hare, for 1 hour. Next flight, we arrive at Vegas at 3 in the afternoon. So we still have the afternoon to ourselves in Vegas. The day we're paying to sleep, we get some time in Vegas. It's like 8 hours total. So like not flight wise, 7 to 8 hours. So it's much faster. And when we leave at 11:35 p.m. on Saturday. It's a red eye. We get home early morning Sunday. So Crystal's good to have all day Saturday or Sunday at home. We get all day in Vegas Saturday. Like we check out in the morning, but we get all day in Vegas, one more full day in Vegas versus two, like, and the flights were, I think like 1,100 or 1,200 for both of us, like all in. So we actually ended up booking on hotels.com the Paris, the same room that we were looking at Expedia, and it was like $1,399, like all in, resort fees, everything. So we ended up getting everything for $2,600 versus the $3,200, so $600 more through Expedia, and we would have lost 2 days to travel because the best flights and fastest flights and cheapest rates, or whatever, for these long ass trips. So just for yourselves, be sure not to go out of your way to be, Expedia is the greatest. It's just easier. We do it all there. Fuck that. Shop around. Hotels.com for your hotel, Momondo or Skyscanner or Airfare Watchdog or Skiplagged. These are all ways to check and see what flights are available. What's the best bet for you? Look into it individually. And then once you've looked into everything individually, if the Expedia package is better, great. But even the flights, guys, make sure that you look into that. Again, if you travel and shit, I don't want to put too much on you, but look into the flight times. Because a lot of people go, oh, great. There's our flights. There's the price, done. Well, look into it. Do you lose a whole day? How long are the layovers? Like, what are you spending? Maybe you're taking a discount, but it's might be worth $40 more a ticket to not be a full fucking day traveling, to have direct flights or what, you know what I mean? Just make sure you factor those in. I know a lot of people that just operate purely off price and will sacrifice anything else. For us, we saved money and we get, an extra day and a half in Vegas. So that's well worth it to us. But Josh, that sounds like a sweet gift. Well, I'm a sweet guy. That's not all, gang. I'm going to give you broad strokes of what we're doing. We have booked stuff in the last couple of weeks. We are going to what I've got planned is when we arrive in Vegas, I reached out to a limousine company that was recommended to me that's cheaper than the regular tourist rates. And I'll plug them when they do something for me. But I wanted to say that their customer service is phenomenal. The gentleman who booked the ride was great. We booked a ride back from our hotel too, not in a limousine though, but in a Tesla Model X, because I want to see what that's like. It's a little more, it's actually a reasonable amount more expensive than an Uber, but because we're leaving at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday night, Ubers might be surging, might be impossible to get. Even regular cabs might be ridiculous to get because it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Like everyone's going out, everyone's going everywhere in Las Vegas. So to have a booked ride that will be there 9:30 for us is worth the little bit extra. Again, keep that in mind. You know, you don't want to be late for your flight or spend the same amount of money. I'd rather be like, we don't have to worry. The car's there at 9:30, takes us to the airport for our flight. And it's going to be an awesome ass Tesla with the fucking wing doors and everything. Anyways, so contacted this limo company. I want to give a special shout out to Dylan, who was on the phone with me. I spoke with Dylan yesterday about making some changes and some fixes to my reservation. He helped me out amazing. Huge respect and thanks to Dylan. Like I said, this company has been good. They made a mistake, and I'll tell you guys about it. It's not a huge deal, but I booked a SUV limousine to greet us when we get there. So, I was just thinking for Crystal, it would be amazing. We're coming down baggage claim, right? Like this is her longest flight. She's only been on one flight before, and that was to Toronto and then the flight back from Toronto. So quick little up and down. That's it. This is the first time like we're going to be going international flying. We're going to be, stopping a layover in Chicago on the way there, then a long flight to Vegas. She gets the experience of landing and seeing everything, desert, all that fun stuff. And then, again, rather than coming down baggage, like, okay, we're here, let's find an Uber or something. It's like to come down baggage claim. There's her name on a board. Happy birthday. We go into the back of this limousine and it's got champagne service for us. So we get to have a little champagne. They actually drive you to the liquor store if you want to pick up a little bit of something for your hotel because it's way more expensive on the strip. And they even offered to drive us to the Las Vegas sign so that we can take a picture in front of it before going to our hotel, which, if you don't know Vegas, is quite a ways from even the nearest resort to it. So you pretty much have to drive or walk an hour there, walk an hour back. So to be able to nail that out with the ride in the limousine is amazing. Very, very, very happy about that. So that's what we booked. And then, like I said, they asked me if I wanted to ride back. I'm like, by the end of the week, she's not going to give a shit about a limousine. So I'm like, just the regular car is good. Unfortunately, there was like some sort of issue where I was looking at I was printing off all the confirmations and whatnot. And I saw that the ride back was the same price as the limousine, but it was booked as what do you call it? It was booked as a limo, charged as a limo. It was booked as the Model X, but it's charged as a limo. Sorry, my brain was completely going off on another thought there. So I called them, and the gentleman that I spoke to on the phone was like, oh yeah, like as I was calling, saying, yeah, I was looking at my day back, and he caught it before I even said anything. He's like, actually, yeah, this price is way off. That is not the price for that service. So he's like, let me get a hold of my accounting department and we'll get that reversed for you. And I was like, great. Do I need to wait for it? He's like, no. I go, can I get an email when it comes? He says, absolutely. Nothing happened. So a week goes by. I'm waiting for my 3 to 5 business days to see a refund. Nothing happened. So I called back again yesterday, and I was calling to say, like, look, if you can't fix this for me, I just cancel that reservation. Like, I'm not paying $200 for a fucking Uber to the airport. But I spoke with Dylan, and he was phenomenal. He helped me. We basically canceled the reservation with the wrong price to make sure that the refund would be applied, and then rebooked it at the appropriate price. Everything went through without a hitch. He was very, very nice. He's a Las Vegas local. We chatted a little bit about the trip while we were waiting for processing and stuff. Super good dude. And like I said, the company's great. I would love to give them a plug, but so far they haven't done anything for me. I'll be honest. I would have loved it if they were like, oh my God, we're sorry for the continuous mistake. Let's take care of that ride back for you. We'll take care of that. Do us a favor. Please tip the driver. We take care of him, but the ride is on us for the mix up and the frustration. We really appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. If that had been the case, guys, I'd be saying their name and recommending them over the moon. But as it stands, they just fixed it for me. Again, very good customer service, very kind and reasonable price. It's costing me about $200 for a limousine to the hotel, but I assume, or I imagine that I'm looking at maybe $50 for an Uber. It's actually going to cost me more than that because I got to tip the driver, like a percentage or whatever. But, the idea was I wanted Crystal to feel like a queen when she arrived. She has said repeatedly, I don't need this. I don't need that. You know what I mean? Like I'm simple. And she's the sweetest thing in the entire world, which is the reason I want her to feel like this. For her 40th birthday, it only happens once in a while. It's literally our first big trip, international trip with resorts and things like that. I want to make sure that I'm treating her right. Which is another reason to sign up for the fucking Neo card and hook me up. Right? No, I'm kidding. $50 for you, $50 for me, guys. Let's help pay off these fucking limos. What was I going to say? So picked up by the limo, signed. We get to our hotel, Paris, Las Vegas. I booked a room that has an Eiffel Tower view. So she'll get to see the tower during the day. At night, you wake up, it's right out the window. I'm going to do everything in my power to see if I can get a better deal. If I know anybody out there who might have some hookups or anything like that, please let me know. Would love to hear it. But our trip, okay, so here's what's going on. Our trip, we get there. I booked reservations at the Eiffel Tower restaurant, so we will be in the base of the Eiffel Tower restaurant, having the base elevated, but it's there. The Paris Hotel and Casino is across the street from the Bellagio that has that beautiful fountain show. So we're going to have dinner. It's not in Paris, but we're having dinner in the Eiffel Tower restaurant overlooking the Bellagio, fountain. First night there. Right. We got, what is it? 8:00 reservations or 8:30 reservations that night. Also pro tip, book all your stuff in Vegas well in advance. Reserve, because some of these beautiful places are so busy that, you might be sitting in the back by a wall and you're like, I can't even see all the stuff that's outside. So booked it, put in the notes, 40th birthday, please have a window view. It's 8:30 reservations, so it's a little less popular time than basic dinner, but that's our first night there. Then we go up to bed, bang, travel day, nice dinner, out. Because at 7:15 in the morning, we get picked up at our hotel and driven out to a helicopter that will fly us over the Vegas Strip, out to the Hoover Dam, over the Hoover Dam, and of course, over the Grand Canyon. I think it even flies through the canyon. But yeah, out to the Grand Canyon. It then lands on a private bluff that is not accessible by vehicle or trail or walking. It is only accessible by helicopter, where this company has tables and chairs and umbrellas and things like that. You land, they give you champagne, they give you lunch, then back in the helicopter, fly back to Vegas, dropped off at your hotel. Door-to-door service. Absolutely stunning. Again, going to be amazing. It's a 45-minute flight out to the Grand Canyon, 45 minutes back, and then however long you're there. So that's a good experience on a helicopter. It's not like a 10, 15-minute flight, and then you're like, oh, well, that was fun. This is like a good few hour experience. An absolutely great way to see the Grand Canyon without having to drive there, rent a car, anything like that. Then Tuesday night, I have an itinerary somewhere, which I should probably look at, but Tuesday night, we go to dinner at Chef Ramsay's Steak. That's in our hotel. We originally had reservations at Hell's Kitchen. However, Hell's Kitchen is just a replica. The real one is in Los Angeles. That's where the show is filmed and everything like that. And a few people were saying online that there is no dress code at Hell's Kitchen. So the food is fine dining prices, but you could be sitting next to somebody who's in flip-flops and a tank top. You know what I mean? So it's just, I guess if you're doing fine dining, you kind of want to, enjoy the experience, dress up a little bit or whatever. There's no thing like that. And this is because it's so popular. There's just people in and out. So it's not quite the experience. Whereas one person was saying, if you want to try the beef Wellington, which is what, is Hell's Kitchen, everything Chef Ramsay's known for, they have it at Chef Ramsay's Steak, which is in our hotel. So we don't have to go anywhere. It is actually his first restaurant in Vegas. He's got like 8 or 9 of them now, but that was his first restaurant in Vegas, and his executive chef is one of the winners of Hell's Kitchen. So, it's very exciting, a very nice ambiance, at the restaurant. So we've got reservations there on the Tuesday night. And then we head down the strip to the MGM Grand to see, Cirque du Soleil show K.A. So that's what we're doing on Tuesday night. Is that Tuesday night? I think it's Tuesday night. Come on. There's a great app called Open Table, guys, where you can make reservations for just about anything, which is absolutely phenomenal. Reservations. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, Gordon Ramsay's steak. Then we go to, that is Tuesday. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Monday, gang. I apologize. That's why I'm like, why does it seem like there's so much? Monday is the helicopter ride in the morning. And then Monday night is Chef Ramsay's steak. That's what we're doing. Then Tuesday morning, we have a beautiful brunch at Mon Ami Gabi, which is right in our hotel. It's got right up on the strip. Beautiful. Can't wait. And then Tuesday night, we're actually going from Mon Ami Gabi to Fremont Street. That's Old Vegas. We're going to try to check out the Pawn Stars location. We have no expectation that we'll see the cast there at all. Why would they be there? But we thought it would be really cool to check out the pawn shop. Never been. If we get there and there's a giant fucking lineup, pass. But we're going to go to Fremont, which is Old Vegas. We're going to check out some, just check out the stores. And then we have tickets at 4 p.m. to do the zip line. So that's the Slotzilla zip line, where it's like a Superman style 5 blocks down Fremont, and you're just like suspended. It looks amazing. We got the tickets already. We're doing that. Gonna check out the Heart Attack Grill on Fremont, and then we head back that's when we head to the MGM Grand to see Ka by Cirque du Soleil. And then after that, we're going to grab a late dinner at the Lakeside restaurant at the Wynn in Las Vegas. They have a beautiful Lake of Dreams show that's free. But if you have dinner at the restaurant, stuff like that, you can see the show perfectly. We're going to get like lakeside seating and everything like that. It's amazing. Wednesday, I don't know, something. The stuff we're going to go do the gondolas at the Venetian, ride the gondolas. We also have reservations Wednesday night at Lago at the Bellagio, which is actually their like, lakeside restaurant that's basically right next to the fountain show. So you can sit there. Now we can look across and see our hotel and just watch the fountain show go. Amazing. Can't fucking wait. Then these are just the reservations. So that's Lago. Yeah. And then when we're done dinner, we go see the Cirque du Soleil show at the Bellagio. So we're already in there. We have our dinner at Lago, and then we go see the show And then after that, we're going to see what we want to do. After it's going to be like 11 o'clock at night. It's a 9:30 p.m. show. We're going to go wander around the strip. I think I'm going to take her for an In-N-Out burger after She's never had one. I haven't had one in years. They're fucking awesome. And there's one right across from the Bellagio at the Flamingo Strip. What was that? Wednesday? Thursday morning, I think we're going to go do the buffet at the Excalibur. And I will mention an app, the reason why we're going to go there. We're going to do the app called My Vegas. I will explain that to you shortly, but stay tuned because it's fucking awesome. Yeah, so breakfast at the Excalibur, I believe, that morning. And then we've got some other things poking around that we may do, just some ideas of fun stuff. Like we're going to walk the strip. There's a lot of these gaps that are just to walk the strip. But then Thursday evening, we are going to the Flamingo because every woman and gay man I know are absolutely obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race. And RuPaul's Drag Race Live is happening at the Flamingo. We have purchased our tickets. We have excellent tickets for RuPaul's Drag Race Live. And it's not just a drag show with the brand on it. It is actually contestants from the show who have the residency there. So lots of people whose names she knows. I don't. But she's super thrilled, like over the moon. We have a private table for it. So it's not like theater style. We have a nice little table. There are theater style seats there, but the ones up front are tables. So we got good tickets for everything that we're doing. So RuPaul's Drag Race on Thursday. And then after that, we're going to see if maybe we can see the Volcano show at Treasure Island, which is being torn down this summer. I originally thought August, and I just saw something last night that says it might even be sooner. So it might be gone by the time we get there. Because Treasure Island is building something new. Friday morning, we are going to go to the buffet at the Wynn. Looks amazing. Super jazzed for that buffet. And then I don't know what we're doing after that. We're going to spend some more time wandering around, filling in things that we wanted to do that we didn't. And then Friday night, we go to Caesar's Palace. We get picked up at Caesar's Palace and driven out to a horse ranch in the desert. Then we get on horses. We're taken through a sunset ride of Red Rock Canyon. So it's amazing. I'm going to ride fucking through the desert like a cowboy through the Red Rocks. It's a nice tour. And then they bring us back to the ranch. We have a nice big steak dinner. Potatoes, beans, corn, the whole nine. And then cowboy s'mores, they call it. I assume it's just cowboys, but around a fire. So it's a nice like fireside dinner, like beautiful out in the fucking desert at a ranch. And then when that's over, they take us back to our hotel again, which is amazing. It's supposed to be like a 5-hour excursion that starts at like 5 p.m. So like we'll be back by 10, 11, enough time to maybe do something a little late night-ish. And then Saturday morning, we are going to check out, unless I can get a real late checkout, but we're going to check out. And then we're going to go to the Bacchanal buffet at Caesar's Palace. The Bacchanal buffet is, from what I see, the nicest buffet in Las Vegas, and super jazzed to be going there to trying just nice, good food with, of course, the love of my life. Like I get Paris dinner, Chef Ramsay dinner, Lago dinner, Lakeside dinner, the Wynn buffet, the ranch dinner, big steak at the ranch. Oh, amazing. So, can't wait. And then we have our flights home. Like I said, late at night, it's a red eye. We're going to take some fucking Ativan and pass out on the plane. Wake up home and disappointed. Be like, where's the palm trees? Why are all the allergens out? So yeah, we're doing this the last few days of May, first few days of June, guys. That's going to be our trip. Now here's the thing I want to talk about. What are we, an hour 24? I'll try to wrap it up soon. Okay. There is a weight limit for the helicopter. There's a weight limit for the zip line. There is no weight limit for the horse, but they say you do have to be able to get yourself on and off the horse by yourself. I'm terrified of being halfway out into the desert and then my horse's legs buckle, snap, and then we have to shoot the horse in the head. Everyone's crying. I'm riding back behind the lead by the tour guide. Or they do like the gladiator thing, and they just tie my hands to the horse and start fucking walking me down behind the nose. You got to lose the weight. Killed my horse. So yeah. And if I don't if I don't get down, so I'm currently, as of this morning, 317 pounds. I have 34 days to get myself down to 305 because that is the grace. So the helicopter, about $600 person. If I am not 300 pounds, I called them to be like, listen, I'll cancel. Like if I'm 2-3 pounds over and you guys are going to charge me, another $600, because they say if you're over, you have to buy a second seat. If that's the case, I'm going to be like, no. I told them like, no, they're like, well, we have a grace of about 305. And I was like, okay, I should be able to do 12 pounds in a month working hard. I'm already like eating less, starting back up intermittent fasting, whatever. Like for example, it is currently 20 after 1 right now. And I have had coffee and water today. That's it. No, there isn't even milk in my coffee. So just in case, milk or cream or anything like that, it's black coffee. Just in case anyone who's real into intermittent fasting is like, well, you're not fasting if you're drinking cream. I know. I'm being good. I'm hungry. But the hunger I felt at 9:30 when I woke up is the same hunger I feel at 1:30, So anyways, so onesies, you guys will follow me on this journey, and anything that you can do to help encourage or inspire, I really appreciate. I have talked about weight loss before. And I've always lost, working on losing weight and stuff when I'm single as a result of that. Well, I've been in a very loving relationship for a year now. And I'm still inspired to be healthy and lose weight. So last few days have been really good. Not going over calories. When I'm done this, I'm going to go downstairs and toast a few pieces of bread, put peanut butter on it, and that will be my breakfast. I got a bunch of work to do going out with Skip, but I will check in with you guys and let you know where I'm at. I am 317. I want to get down to 300. Because I'm 317 in my boxers and a shirt in the morning on the scale. I'm going to be weighed in my shoes and everything like that. So I want to get down to like 300. It's the same with the zip line. The zip line is 300, limit. I'm hoping if I'm 304, they'll be like, yeah, that's fine. But 300 max, there's always a grace just in case. But I'm not spending another $600 on the ticket. Well, actually I am. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to destroy that. The girlfriend's waiting for, I will pay $600 for another ticket. It's going to cost me. So this is literally a self-imposed fine for not losing weight. So that's what we're working with right now. But yeah, so that's super exciting, guys. I'm so jazzed about that. Going to Las Vegas with the love of my life for her 40th birthday. over the moon excited. Thank you to Dylan at the limousine service for his help yesterday. He corrected everything, whatnot. Dylan, if you want to reach out to your people and see if you can do a little more, please don't feel obligated to. But if you think there's someone who might be like, yeah, let's get them a complimentary ride and then let's get some free advertisement, I would be happy to plug them in exchange for a free ride. And like I said, I will totally tip your driver. Totally take care of them. So, if that's an option. If not, it is not a failure on your part or anything like that. Sometimes these things are out of our hands, but, I would love to plug the service, but as everything has value, I'm not giving them free advertisement. So, let's go on to, the top five, and then let's get the fuck out of here. How about that, guys? The top five is a segment I've done for quite some time. I enjoy it. Some weeks it's very difficult to come up with one, but, I'm glad it's here. And here is the first one of 2022 and of the podcast's return. So top five segments that I no longer do. How about that? Top five is a segment, but I had other segments that I did that I no longer do. And here are my top five. In the fifth place, shittiest movie. I brought that up as a way for you guys to torture me. The amount of bad movies and B movies there are on a lot of these services like Tubi and Amazon Prime, whatever. You can find some absolute hilariously like, what the fuck? That is the dumbest thing. And as a way to interact with you guys, I offered the ability to watch, like, if you find something stupid, there's like Velocipaster, which is a pastor who turns into a velociraptor, the dumbest shit ever. But I'm like, I haven't watched it. No one told me to. But I watched like Killer Sofa and Dawn of the Deb and Bubba the Redneck Werewolf and Microwave Massacre. Microwave Massacre was suggested to me by my friend Mark. So I appreciate that. But I was like trying to like watch a shitty one every week just so I'd have something to talk about, to the point where like no one was even suggesting one. So I'm just like, I'll just watch one and talk about it. But I'm like, nah, that's 2 hours of homework. You know what I mean? It feels like pressure. If no one's interested, then I don't need to do it. I'll still watch them if I feel like it in my own time. Crystal can laugh about it and I can still talk about it in the podcast, but it won't be a mandatory once a week thing. So the shittiest movie, Gone. This is the first week with no shittiest movie or what have you. So Gone. It's Gone, number 5 of the segments that we used to do. 4 is Unplug. Excuse me. I used to do a segment where you could unplug a business, right? You could plug a business to give it some advertisement, but unplug them, giving them a negative advertisement, and not maliciously, in the sense that it's just like, hey, let's just throw shade at some business because, I didn't get exactly what I wanted or I didn't get something for free. It was more of like an experience that was so shitty that they deserve to have a little bit of negative publicity because of it, right? No good deed goes unpunished. Well, here at the One Man Podcast, no bad deed goes unpunished. So Unplug was a segment, but I was like, hey, you guys send me some unplugs if there's a business that you really didn't like. And again, not just to hurt them, but if it was such a bad experience that they deserve a little bit of notoriety for said experience, then do it. But again, that didn't generate any else. So I had to unplug the Unplug segment. Number 3, Touch and Go. That was a fun little segment that I tried for a little bit of time there. It was something that I was like, I will just randomly call someone I know and see how they're doing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to warn them that I'm calling. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to give them a call, say, hey, you're on the podcast. How are you? What's new with you? I did it for a little while. So there was like an episode where I had actually have to write down. This was also before I knew how to hit the pause button, but I was like, I better write down like 3 people so that I'm not just killing air while I'm trying to think of someone else, right? If I call and there's no answer, but there was weeks where I'd write down 3-4 names. I'd call all 3, no answer. And then eventually it was like, hey, is it cool if I call you on the podcast? Like the thing fell apart. I like the idea that there was back and forth because a lot of people are saying, like, listen, when you're talking to somebody, it's a lot more interesting than when you're just talking to yourself. But, I was just like, yeah, I thought it would be a fun opportunity to also include people in the podcast. And from a marketing angle, hey, it might even make them want to listen to it, to hear the conversation, hear themselves on the episode, but did not work out the way I had anticipated. So sadly, the Touch and Go is no longer a thing. Bucket list is in number 2. When I first started this podcast right around the beginning, I talked about some things that were on my bucket list, and I asked you guys to share some bucket list items with me. What are some things that you absolutely want to do? And a lot of people have the whole, skydiving or this, that, whatever, see the Grand Canyon. But I like the idea that you guys might send in some really unique shit. Again, it's just interaction between us and some fodder for conversation. We had a few weeks where people sent them and then there were no more. And of course I myself can't have a new item every week, although that might be fun. Again, these are all open to discussion, gang. Contact at onemanpodcast.com. Let me know if there's anything that you guys liked and that thought that, like, hey, you know what? Maybe it's worth trying again. You know, maybe some of you have come onto the podcast since those were a thing. But I would absolutely love to have interaction from you guys. Again, it gives me something to talk about that I know that at least one person is interested in hearing the answer to or my thoughts on. So the bucket list was in number 2. And then finally, number 1, segments I no longer do, was the Uncle John's Bathroom Reader by Portable Press. I still have shitloads of bathroom readers. I find them very, very fascinating. And I enjoyed, they gave me permission to read an article every week, and plug. They would send me the newest edition whenever it came out. But sadly there were, I used to try to make the article relevant to the subject of the week, but in reading, like, in having like, oh, I have an episode I have to do today. And then having like, oh, I haven't got my article yet. And then sitting and reading for an hour and really not finding anything that I found was on point. And then just going with some random thing. I'm like, it felt like work. And it was pressure. And then a lot of times I just wasn't happy with the article overall, that I picked, just because I was like, I got to pick something. And this was the most interesting one I've read today, you know? And some of them were just visual too, like they'd be, license plates or something like that seeing them was more entertaining than maybe just hearing them audibly. So, the Uncle John's Bathroom Reader got flushed. So those are the top 5 segments that I no longer do. Uncle John's Bathroom Reader, the bucket list, touch and go, unplug, and of course the shittiest movie. Guys, Crystal and I were on the phone right in the middle of this podcast. And her and I have decided going forward. So coming up this week, I am doing Skip the Dishes promo. So I'm going to be putting up decals and windows, letting, just doing advertisement that Skip is available there. I'm not driving. I'm trying to say I'm doing work for Skip. They think I'm driving, which is reasonable. So clarification, I am not driving. I am doing the marketing for it. But I'm also going to be doing a lot more exercise. And Crystal and I, when we called, we both spoke about doing the intermittent fasting again and sticking to it. We're both going to do the same time, which is, she's doing 11 to 7. I'm going to do 1 to 7 just because, because I wanted a smaller window of eating, more time burning calories. So we have committed to that together. She starts at 11. I start at 1. We both end at 7 p.m. So we'll be able to do that together and help each other and motivate each other and all that fun stuff. And, that's what's going forward. I want to be able to fit this thing because I have a $600 fine coming my way in the event that I am not able to lose the weight. So that's what I'm working on. Thank you for listening, gang. Guys, follow One Man Podcast on Instagram or check out the Facebook page. I haven't posted anything in a while because the podcast hasn't been up and running, but I'm going to start posting more. Crystal and I were on the phone. We talked about gimbals. So I'm going to be picking up one of those so that I can film stuff in Vegas. We're going to be doing stories and probably a video when we come back. But if you guys want to stay up to date with what's going on and see things as they happen, I might even do a few live streams while we're there. So please feel free to follow. All right. Contact the onemanpodcast.com last time is the email address. Anything you want to send in. We will get back into a groove again. I'm getting back out there having experiences. There was COVID shutdowns over the holidays. Got COVID, got this thing in my throat that's troubling me. Although right now it's not hurting to swallow or anything like that. So hopefully, I've had days like this before, but as of late, they've been particularly rough. I'm hoping that maybe today's just a good day and, gray skies are gonna clear up. It's a good thing, guys. Point is, everything that's going on, I'm very happy. It's good times. And I think that doing this thing again, the intermittent fasting, and being motivated, not in a sad, lonely, who's going to love me state, but I am loved and I want to be healthy and feel good. I think that's where I want to be. So it's a good thing. All right, you guys, have the best weeks ever. Don't take any shit from anybody. And I will talk to you again soon.